this is obviously going to be our 14th edition, and BBL has had the bragging rights for the past year.
A chance for them to settle the score at 7 apiece, of course. Starting out on that attack side, you can already see the pressure creeping in towards A. Yetajay's setup is elsewhere, so drops back to a deeper line of cover. Already a flank posed here by FUT.
I love this. The fact that they're being proactive on the defense, make that map smaller. Kreven activating the wall, and Yetajay supported by Crystalli on site.
Double stack setup with the stairwell left open, so an opportunity for BBL to get a player in behind here. They've left behind Lovers Rock for the time being. It's Sociable that they need to watch out for. He's in main, and yeah, Lovers Rock actually, in a TP back to spawn, ends up flanking the flank itself. Sop trades it out, but numbers advantage BBL from this position.
How does FUT even try and get back into the site? I mean, not a whole bunch of utility. I mean, the really bolt on Sop, sure, but he's in main.
This little bit of extra control into the blue room for BBL is
dear.
exactly what they're hanging off, and with Larok finding that kill, it's all but wrapped up here in the pistol. Yetajay's plenty of work in front of him, can't surmount to the task, and so with that, BBL draw first blood.
Yeah, and I think overall, it's Lovers Rock who features first in the kill feed, and I think that's where I want to start our conversation with this. The fact that we have Sop and Zeus up against Lovers Rock and Larok. I think this is going to be the head-to-head that decides this full matchup.
I mean, just looking at that TP again, audacious and just crazy he gets that much value from it. Circling back to what you're saying, yeah, those are the heavyweights on either side of the server, and with there not being a derby between these two teams so far this year, BBL stay undefeated since 2025, winning all 3 fixtures there.
Yeah.
For FUT, it's about re-establishing themselves back on top after that record-equaling placement for a Turkish team at Masters London. A record now shared with BBL after their time in the sun at Santiago. So both of these teams have really shown already so far in 2026 that they are competing for the top spots.
And it's nice when you think back to how these, both of these rosters have been built, right? Especially that both have history in Tier 2. I mean, BBL, everybody knows that the run that Pacific made, but not only that, like Zeus and Saw, them being there. But to bring it back to the server, there's a fake happening on A. I thought for a minute that BBL were going to commit to the fake towards C. It's not the case, and Sociable shouldn't take first contact.
I mean, you find this much ground when you're up against a full save, you turn it into a post plant, and already as much calls as Sociable can make, that pack won't arrive in time.
Yeah,
opportunity to set up as 5 here, and it's just damage control for FUT.
Whether they actually want to die to the spike or whether they're going to send it. I mean, it seems as if with players on pistols, wouldn't help, or wouldn't hurt, sorry, BBL to go and try and grab some of these orbs, and you can see Larok going for the hunt. First one pretty clean. Oof, nice trap overall. And FUT just need to make sure they're not hemorrhaging anything more.
Nah, Larok now 1 away from the showstopper, so that's definitely something to be thinking about heading into the first gun round of this game. BBL have already thrown a pistol at it, but Lovers Rock wants a little more here.
I like the fact that he's hunting. Marshall in hand. Oh, lovely stuff. Getting things started off in the right way are BBL as they double up the round count. And on to 2.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see how BBL perform in this derby. As I said, these two teams yet to face so far in the year, but with Eternal Fire joining the league, a big talking point coming out of that one for me was just the fact that BBL looked, you know, out of sorts. It was a disaster for them, and the occasion may be getting the better of them. Here already, establishing themselves in this one, and with a strong bonus round, they're looking to head towards the A site. It's been reinforced, fortified by Yetajay's utility this time.
Kreven has taken contact and knows about the players on C, so the pace may be beginning to quicken on the A side of things. Zeus unluckily denied through his own team's Vise wall as Kreven looks to try and control the space at the back.
And this is a theme that we constantly have to refer back to. Kreven on the Cypher, where he wasn't having too much luck with it last stage. constantly an outlet, constantly lurking. FUT will be looking to try and pick him off as much as possible. They haven't here, and so with that C-mound space stored, looks like BBL want to start investigating the other side of the map.
LaRock's TP obviously to go and join up with his team, as he still holds this A space, but it's SOP you need to try and get by an angle, which he usually would win out on. Kreven takes the head clean off, decapitates, and that C site is open.
Another one of those players in this BBL team, which when he's performing, everyone else around him seems to get a bit of a mental lift as well. Inspiring this execute towards the C site, and there's the showstopper just to flush away any further presence.
No, Lover's Rock's been caught on the other side, so numbers are even, and it's whether LaRock can find any value from the rocket. Absolutely not. In post, there's going to be issues.
And now you wonder what this retake looks like from FUT. Deep rocket in waterfall, and 3 players considering the reclear. No. They're going to split up 3 and 1. Majority of this coming back through CT.
Remember, Sociable not with Paranoia. And there's not really any utility on Crystalli either, so this becomes more difficult. Sociable though, Zeus combined. This is looking good for FUT's retake. Rose trying to hold on the smokes, but can't do it. So it's up to Kreven. A great entry to the round, but cannot finish. Zeus with 4 of his own.
It's these kinds of situations where BBL get put under a microscope. We know of the communication issues, the collapse of fundamentals in key rounds in Stage 1, plagued them for the longest of times. If they can't convert from these post plants, there's going to be a serious problem today. The story of the Vitality game was them being able to expose and punish their opponent. FUT this time around, the ones to get the better of them.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's a question of, I mean, looking back at that Vitality game, an off day for Vitality, or was it BBL just letting them back into the game? With that being said, let's actually check out how BBL deal with this push.
Umut kal burada, dön direkt C'ye. Yürüyüşe dikkat, yürüyüşe dikkat. Tamam Umut. Kal burada, dön direkt C'ye. Tipini bırak.
Tamam, ben şu an bırakmayacağım.
Tamam, gel. Gel, çektiğim buraya.
Jerobi'yi aldım.
Rusum.
Beyler,
Gel kan.
beni dinleyin.
Dur, peek.
Pikten söyleyeceğim, sorun yok. Oynayın siz. Acelesi yok.
Nereye pikliyorum, peek. Ledim.
Endpoint'i çektiğim birlikte.
Sağa bak.
Bakıyorum. Sola pikte.
Gelin
Koş.
C'ye, gel C'ye direkt. Orb alacağım, orb alacağım.
C'de flash attı, pik attı Eranos. Site'den pik attı timing.
Okey.
Papağan, info vermedim Doga.
Tamam, okey. C'ye giriş yapmayın direkt.
Direkt
A'da 3 var zaten.
Direkt oyun.
Gelin
Adam
C'ye,
oldu.
gir C'ye. Ulti
Tamam.
basacağım. Köpek yapsana. Mollo, Mollo bir girişi. Sağ
Tamam.
ulti atacağım.
Tamam at. Grenade attım.
Side boş.
Ya.
CT space alsanıza.
Gel.
Tamam.
Yapın.
Dikkat edin.
Space alabilirsin.
CT space al.
Gel.
Alıyorum.
Sen lane Utku bekle.
Gelmişler adam. Bok içi.
Geldi. 2 smoke içiler beyler. Çıkacak adamlar. Dikkat edin Brent'e. Çıkıyor 3 CT. Çıkmadı.
Hadi. Kuruyorum bombayı. Ben teksin.
2 çıktı 3.
Enti.
Gel.
Adamlar şu an sadece tek yaptıkları şey.
FUT on even terms, 2-all in the score count now, and looking at that round, Cairo, felt like at points it was very individual from BBL, getting good value from these set openings on A, but as the round progresses, things falling apart.
I think the big thing, Com's feeling a bit chaotic there, but when the Vise wall went up, it feels as if that's when the plan completely fell apart for BBL. Worrying stuff that a simple Vise wall on a C site that is so, I guess, universal, that we've seen it over so many different stages, that is going to catch you out like that.
It's this agency from Yetajay switching up that setup where it had been identified on A couple of times, which maybe caught BBL in the headlights. Only Crostali here. Tempered positioning from him in stairs right now, as almost all of BBL are present. The one exception, of course, being Kreven. He's yet to be identified as the captain has already fallen. Plenty of damage on these BBL players.
Yeah, it's worrying. Remember, this is BBL's first look of Lotus this split. I mean, second match, sure.
That's the thing, right? 1-1 record, but talking a little bit about those games played outside the circuit, 6 times in between the stages.
Yeah.
And so they have plenty of reps here. There's plenty of tape on it. FUT on the other side, 2-5 for their 7 times played. So honestly, I think the way that this series starts out, it's a chance to build up some confidence, build up some momentum, things which FUT have been talking at long length about. This is the eco, of course. Yeah, even just that result
30
against
seconds
Pacific,
left.
for example, shaky at times, but they get over the line, and that's what makes you a top team.
A little bit of delay here as we wait to see that spike go down, but FUT given that time to get into position for this retake. Spam looks pretty decent, and overall, BBL will be happy with just getting that spike in.
Yeah, so close to finding that kill through the wall. The angle just a little bit off. Now, BBL trying to interrupt the rhythm of this retake, go fighting themselves towards Waterfall, but it's come up short-handed. Yetajay sweeping in from behind, as is Larok. Down to a 1 versus 2. Yet to find himself an upgrade, but there are tools to play around with here. A couple of satchels maybe just to sow some disarray towards the spike as this Stinger needs to keep biting back, and the satchel is just short, but Sociable picks up the pieces anyway. The captain is that commendable as always, so the lead restored.
I mean, it ends up being a little bit difficult, but overall I don't think FUT were really sweating. It's a nice entry by Crystalli, and it feels pretty easy in the end.
Player standing.
Ultimates is where we start to have our eyes drawn towards. Sop having his overdriving Zeus with the showstopper, and a couple other couple other FUT ultimates coming online. And I think most importantly, in terms of this defensive setup, is that Sop has his op.
So that'll be... We've seen these faces take to the server before on the same or opposite ends. But this is the most important round of the game, and with BBL that having that timeout behind them now, they look to go back to this A duel.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get the dimensional drift as it starts to clear out the B side of the map, but Sop's operator, we said early on the line, but at least Lovers Rock able to keep things somewhat even until Sop gets activated. It's a bit chaotic here, 1-for-1 consistently, and finally Sop shut down. Spike makes its way towards A, but it's Sociable, sorry, Crystalli holding things down. Sociable was towards B.
Last player
Still
standing.
continuing on, and FUT still keeping their foot in front. Rose now having to clutch up, worried about that B player, but doesn't realise Sociable's made it to silent drop. The timing doesn't work for the BBL captain. It works for FUT, and they're up to 4.
Yeah, well handled by Sociable in the end. Looked like for just a moment there was a window of opportunity there looming for Rose, who Minnie and the desk were talking about. He is the self-proclaimed best Turkish IGL, but I think there is definitely a conversation to be had, especially considering Sociable's recent form when we look at these two lock-in horns.
Yeah. And I think as well, we've got to be thinking about how it's going to work out in the champions points as well between these two, because they're not too far away from each other. And this matchup could mean more than we think.
Opening here from Sop, slides in with the Outlaw. Seen it a few times already. Result is always the same. Gets a second for his troubles with the shorty, and that makes this round dead certain that it's dead rubber. There's not much left here for BBL. Coming out of the gun round, straight into the eco. Going strength for strength.
Spike down A.
Yeah, I mean, last seen now with the spike down. I think overall this is just showing how hungry FUT are right now. I don't think that there's been much of a contest by BBL, and it's their map pick, so it gets more and more worrying. And we talked about it, how important that double duel was going to be, and it's Sop and Zeus who are topping the pops right now for the defense.
Look at the other side. Lovers Rock having some influence on the play early on, but both him and Larok can't hold a candle to the output on the FUT side right now. Seeing the setup here, Sop has the op again. Is he going to go for the same aggressive play? There's a Vice setup to fall back on. No, it's a little more reserved.
Yeah, looking to just hold on with the operators.
And Zeus working the opposite extremity at the same time. It's an all-out push from FUT. I mean, even Yetajay in B main, there's not an area on the map that they've forgiven right now.
Well, the Euro clone gone. That means that the Vise will be safe for majority of this round, but the Vise himself playing in front of that with Zeus close by. Kreven needs to be careful.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Yetajay has the support of Zeus over his shoulder. The whole of BBL shepherded spawnwards. And with that fight going their way, it's Kreven, in fact, who gets a big double catch. 2 kills in B main. The rest of BBL still interested in this A push. Showstopper drawn out from Larok for the second time. The Rocket will miss Crostali narrowly. Oh. With Sociable arriving, there's a nade at his feet and no way out. Crostali's flashing back in to look for a fight, which he can't win. So it's all on the shoulders of SOP to win this 1v3.
If there's anybody you want to clutch up, it's him. Operator and handle is going to be difficult, and he's already been seen.
And he's had the highest success rate of any FUT player in these situations, but the fact of the matter is you don't often see him left last alive, and that's for a good reason. BBL back on the board and dealing with everything that FUT was throwing at them.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice from Crostali. This is just unbelievable from Kreven. It feels as if he is going to be the success story for BBL should they go on to win this match. Keeps finding little gaps in which to work with.
There.
Or stands a test thrown at him by the FUT players. SOP once again, operator on C-mount.
Knowing that he can't get away with another aggressive play, it's actually Sociable checked out in this instance. Larok finds his man.
Seems as if BBL are now starting to hold back on their aggression.
Yeah.
Look at how slow they're coming out of A side.
Just figuring what the FUT game plan looks like. Vlad Bambino speaking at lengths about how the preparation just didn't quite land for them in that opening game. Since the Na'Vi match, though, they have responded, and here you're starting to see BBL figure that out.
Yeah, questions really being asked of FUT about how adaptable they can be. Same time, Zeus has his showstopper. He's been found, and he's just peeked into so many bodies.
Yeah. It's the only player in the meantime that BBL have actually spotted towards A after that initial exchange. Crostali does catch Kreven away from the rest of the play. So while the A site is open, BBL don't know this just yet. They're looking for safety to plant, and they will get it.
Lovers Rock looking to hold down the long line all the way back from Mount. SOP nearly catches one off guard.
Spike planted.
And just shows more disciplined face for a second, holds back from that initial contact, but as Larok cuts him off from the rest, he's still going here, Larok, looking for an ace in the derby. Yetage's position now revealed, playing from the pit. Larok is the first of many hungry BBL players to get him down. A fantastic response. Not initially from the timeout, but the rounds following. BBL have got in tune with FUT's game, and Larok knows where this final player stands. He wants the ace, he's going to get the bait for it, and there it is, all 5 from Larok. BBL's number 95, getting all 5.
One away from each other. BBL's adaptation's very nice overall. The fact that they can show this slower style of play, that they don't need to always be as explosive as we expect them to be.
I'm low.
And getting fired up in the meantime. This is going to prompt
The difference,
but
but BBL can bring that to the table by the same margin, so
that's exactly it, mate. They can 100% show the goods when they need to. So both double duelists looking to take control of A mound and force BBL to move towards C.
it's straight into this Vice setup, so FUT very prepared for this, not overstepping this time in the round.
Yeah, well, unfortunately the wall has actually gone up.
And that's where you're going to see this interaction between the Yoru and Vice find more value for BBL when the fake out is able to trip it. Of course, with the nerf a few patches ago, that's why we've seen Vice's usage skyrocket, because Yoru being a natural counter put her out of play. Ready to hit the site now, though, BBL. Still one more set of thorns at the back of C.
Paranoia is good as well from Sociable. He's on a judge. Fortunately forced back, and Ultimate's in play as well. Good nade combo. And just going to send it straight in. Advantage looking good for BBL. And time, delay, working through with a showstopper. And Larok's taking so much space.
As much real estate as he possibly can, but again, BBL looking to give up this ground and fight towards CT instead.
Spike planted.
Trap put up there, but all of FUT are coming through Waterfall.
Yeah, ready to play off of the Seekers. Showstopper of their own, clears back sight, but at BBL being forced back, looking to hold from water, and Lovers Rock up. Doesn't hit. Usually it does. And now FUT start to get towards the spike, and when they do, they hit the meat grinder. Absolutely torn apart. An end zone flawless to equal things out.
A very well-managed situation from BBL there, in and amongst all the madness. We spoke earlier in the game about the comms, the chaos, and the issues that that can present for this young team. But as soon as Zeus's ult comes in, it's a drop back to a deeper line. He doesn't find any value from the ult. Just holding off of their own smoke here. Really well played. Who was saying that Larok hadn't stepped up. 12 and 8 now. The exact kind of response you want to see from the young gunner.
Smiles on the faces of BBL. It's been a long time since we've seen them. Probably favourites, you would say now, to go and top this group. Beating Vitality, beating FUT. The strength of schedule gets easier as the weeks go on. And a different Viswell actually towards C-Mount.
Yeah, this is the kind of wall you would usually put for a trap play. I think we saw Heretics do something similar, but Zeus doesn't have the showstopper to go vaulting over it like Woot did. So all it is, deep information for the time being. And as you say, that's the importance of this game. Not just the bragging rights, but either of these teams win it, it's a chance to take a huge step towards automatic playoffs qualification, bypassing the play-ins, giving yourself that best possible route towards champions. Crystali navigating A with a little bit of caution, as it is just the solo initiator here for now, and that's where BBL choose to accelerate.
Yeah. Try and put some pressure on Crystali, and fortunately he's peeked into Loiter's rifle, not one that you would normally want to peek into. And it's a nice pivot, drawing in the forces of FUT and making them hurt one by one. Spike to go down on B, and there's also been a deposit of Larok.
Yeah, Lovers Rock would love to get the dimensional drift online here, threaten a tempo change heading into the last round as FUT are coming in with Dregs. Yetajay goes down, Steel Garden will be available for the next. So already you're starting to paint that picture of what it entails for us. And at the very least, Zeus has recovered a rifle here, and stop finding that. It's a 3-on-3. All of a sudden, we give a little bit of credit to this one.
Yeah, it's starting to get worrying a little bit, especially with Lovers Rock being low, but yeah.
Both players retaking from that same tight corridor means that BBL have no trouble executing it. 6-5 at the very least, tied at the half, but looking to go into that second half with a lead.
Yeah, it took a second for BBL to understand what was going on in this half, how FUT were playing, and as soon as they did, it feels as if they've had the best of their opponents. 4 in a row so far.
Yeah, you saw on the replay there, actually, I think the flash was a bit of fake information maybe for Crystali, caught the fake out, and then it was Loiter sweeping in from tree that caught him, but final round here, Sop, quick pace to this opening.
Yeah, ready to go.
He's taking the orb.
I mean, the fact he's taken it in their faces and got away. Crystali, though, moving out a bit little too eager as he's identified through the dimensional drift and chased down. Sop's operator, good for it, and even misses out on the seas. Lovers Rock forced back, and FUT have hit him with everything but Loiter.
Yeah, 3
His
bodies
head.
back sight. They're ready for this.
Exactly. But Loiter not given his chance. Once again, FUT playing together. There's a disconnect here, but a pause in proceedings. FUT fight forward, they do well. Still even, but Rose fighting. BBL to an advantage. BBL to a round win. It's just Yetajay now. The experienced one on FUT, the one who's been the furthest, been in the most international events, and he can't do it here and now. BBL advantage to the second half.
Yetajay's played every derby since 2024, but winless in the last year. Couldn't make the impact there, and so FUT from 5-2 up to 5-7 down. Let's hear from Yetajay, in fact, and hear what he had to say coming into this one.
You died last. Good job.
Making those necessary changes in the first half. It lands them on 5 rounds. It's commendable at best, but we're going to need a lot more if this one is to get snatched from the hands of BBL.
Yeah, at the same time though, I mean, BBL have a good pistol round win, so let's see how FUT deal with that.
Görmedim.
Hobbit'e yakın gidin. Kapıyı onlar mı kırdı? Hobbit'i kırdılar.
Kamerası var mı Cypher'ın?
Açık
Kırdım.
açık kırık değil. B push'una bakıyorum.
Yani ben de buradan böyle aldım.
Bekliyorum ben sola doğru. Tamam CT'nize
Hobbit'e
bakıyorum.
yaklaşın, B split yapalım.
Atacağım Dog'u.
Tower'a smoke vereceğim. J-Link'e atmayacağım ha.
Hazırım ben.
Hazırım. Kıracağım ben
Tower'a
kapıyı.
smoke verdim, kırın.
Attım
Aç kurtu.
Dog'u.
B pushlatsam.
Gel.
Paranoya atacağım yakına.
Yok.
Attım.
W bas.
Gelik gelir.
Pencere 2
Tower,
2.
iki tower, iki tower.
Last player standing.
D boş vur onu vurursan. Ah oğlum lan çok. Adamlar trap yapmış.
And so the answer is BBL's win rate gets even better. That's now 5 wins to 1 loss overall so far in VCT EMEA. Stage 2.
5 wins, 1 loss in what?
In stage 2, in pistol rounds.
Oh, in pistol rounds. Okay.
See if you like. I'm gonna do you a favor. Maybe clean out your ears before we come
No,
to
I'm
cast.
just saying the context. Slightly missing. It's all good. They've won it, though. Do you know what that is as a percentage?
Tell me.
Well, no, I don't. I was asking.
I think
It was on the screen at the
I think
start.
it was like. Oh, I'm not even gonna attempt it. Don't do mental maths on stream, folks.
But FUT here, all on classics, but very quick to try and fight the B space. Larrock in the corner, Vandal in his hands. Got himself an ace already in this game, and he's looking to chase down some of these ecos, but Lovers Rock equally interested. Same can be said of Loiter. A big front three on the BBL side, all getting involved in the action here. And Anti-Eco just continues to build that gap. It's the bonus round that we're most intrigued about, though. I mean, that could be all of the difference here on Lotus early doors.
Well, I mean, the thing for FUT was they were able to build from the bonus round and get 5 in a row. BBL need to avoid that. They need to at least do a little bit of damage here.
Yeah.
Shows what they're good for. And I mean, remember last time, Larrock had his showstopper online by this point.
That goes there.
Yeah, got 2 of them super early. It's only 3 away as it stands, but no ults into this round. BBL playing with 4 players strong towards the A side. C is weak, but there's a TP there for Lovers Rock, so he can arrive to help support Kreven before the flood arrives. And with a little bit of information collected in B main, there is still a lingering threat of a split through the doors here.
Loiter could TP by the wall and make himself a real issue if he wanted to.
BBL are safe in the knowledge that that one trap is enough to stop the B push from coming in for now, though.
Yeah, and Loiter, the most part, has been spotted, or at least spotted the FUT contingent as well. So looking to play a little bit more further back.
Thought maybe he would have been looking to fake through Zeus towards C, but they've already got what they wanted. There are 4 bodies on the other side of the map. The A hit is theirs for the taking. Loiter's still got 1 more TP to escape if he wants. This is now starting to gear towards that intended B finish that we thought we might see.
There's nobody here to receive it at all.
And so it now begs the question, Cairo, what does this post plant look like? Because FUT have plenty of time to set up.
Well, they've got most of the, a little bit of the utility towards that Hobbit door. And Zeus playing within sight. Crystallian's up close by as well.
Just got a nade to try and interrupt this. Stop that push out from the waterfall as it stands. The rest set up in a crossfire.
I think right now, what BBL are waiting for is their utility to come online. They have plenty of it as well. And as it does, they get wiped away. It doesn't take much. There is a Kreven trying to force another issue through main, and it doesn't work out. So overall, FUT not really sweating in that post plan.
No, very clean from FUT, and I think we're seeing all of the right signs in that situation as well. That one nade from Zeus doing the heavy lifting, sowing some disarray. As you see BBL make their way back in. That's what this defender side is going to ask of you as well.
Let's go, man!
Team play tested to the nth degree. Now into the follow-up round. It's Larrock with his sights set on rubble control nice and early here.
I mean, FUT set with their sights on A. Sop is so quick to head at least towards that ultimate orb. The spam not connecting, but keep your eye on Yetaji right now as he's in B main. That's a big 1 versus 1 versus Kreven.
Oh,
gonna
wins
win
it.
Yeah, that's going to be the B. Open up. Same post plan. It should be the same.
Rose!
What's that doing?
remaining.
And now he's on for an ace.
Out of nowhere. Rose from left field, and it's only Yetajay left.
Disastrous stuff. Just when you think FUT had everything open, Rose on for his ace. The second of BBL, but LaRock steals it from him. An advantage for BBL that grows back to 4, double digits found. And again, how does FUT let this slip?
LaRock says to Rose, I'm the only one getting an ace today, mate. Sorry. But this is the sort of impact we want to see from the captain. Spoke at length about Sociable's fragging.
One enemy remaining.
Rose, not often you're going to see him coming up with kills, but when he does, and when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Well, there's been plenty. Oh, I was going to say, I thought for a minute FUT didn't have a buy, but they actually do. Sorry, the Stinger in play for Yetajay, and he's also got his Steel Garden. So with the pace that's looking to hit in towards C, there could be issues for either side, to be honest. The Steel Garden being thrown right in straight away.
Very direct hit coming through, though. And FUT have most of the space they'd be looking for. Here's the rocket from LaRock. No kill! Sidestep from the satchel there. Great movement, Zeus, but into the hands of Kreven. Sociable restoring order, but Kreven's still going from CT. Defending his post down to the last man. Numbers advantage, and with you said, Loiter getting in behind here as well. There are problems on both fronts for FUT. Cornered is Yetajay, and BBL find themselves yet another round on this defender's side. Coming into the gun rounds, it's been 2 from 3, and FUT going back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we're going to have to time out after this one. It's just not working whatsoever. They're trying the fast takes, they're trying the slow takes. I mean, to be honest, the round previous to this one, I actually thought they had a pretty good start overall. The issue was they just didn't account for Rose running out of the 12. So they've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at this one. Sop has his ultimate. Lose this, and it feels like the game could be done.
The map, at the very least, look towards the back end of this veto.
Oh my.
And it does get better for FUT, but as you say, those stats null and void in these kinds of situations. And Kreven just playing by the numbers himself. Trap sets up the first, the follow-up of his own good doing. TP from Sociable's a death sentence, and Jay, the only one remaining, is on borrowed time. FUT are going to have sort of max lost bonus heading into this last one here, but as you say, they put a lot into this round and it's not come up.
I mean, what, Sociable's on 0, Crystalli on 150, Zeus on 300. Yetajay trying to fight this with a Stinger.
He's just chasing shadows right now.
He's looking for something, but he's going to head straight into Loiter, who's just going to hold this one down. Tell the rest of his team that they could potentially move up, and Lovers Rock's done that. Feels as if BBL are just playing with their foot at this moment in time.
Yeah, they are. And this is the thing as well. We know the record that this organisation holds in this fixture. It's popped up in plenty key duels over the years. First Strike, the sorts, original Turkish online masters as well. But FUT, for the most part, have been the team to beat.
Yeah.
It's not since this new generation now that all the difference.
And I mean, the thing is... Oh dear. Salt in the wounds. Into the next one, FUT are trying their best to contest this. 3 Guardians, Harvando. Of course, well, it's actually turned into 4 Guardians rather than 3 Guardians and a Bulldog. And the attack walking aimlessly in towards Lovers Rock Operator. But they need to be careful because Sociable TP's behind.
Soft sliding in on the front line, that's also posing the biggest threat right now. Lovers Rock trying to play up close. Sociable would be in the perfect position if he wasn't being flanked himself. Rose on the retake coming back in to support, but the players on site have already dropped and FUT have just brushed them aside this time. It's going to be a 7th round queued up for them here, Cairo, but It's a little too late.
Feels like it. So, FUT keep themselves alive for one round longer. They're able to upgrade the weapons that they had. An operator picked up. I mean, nicely done, exploding on towards A, but how replicable is this round?
One enemy remaining.
It does feel like we've seen FUT be very direct so far on this attack side in terms of their executions. For how good Sociable had been at the mid-rounding. I mean, this hasn't been numerically his best contribution. Not someone that you want to stress needs that kind of impact, but we have seen it for him in the last week or so. A-Space taken comfortably by FUT. SOP attack op this time.
Still not found either. Not announced himself. Lovers Rock forced to use TP.
Just going to drift back towards the A-hold though. The spy cam out in sand by Kreven. He's trying to lock down B solo. Rocket in his face. Zeus has found the kill and himself. So BBL still in a position of authority here.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that SOP's got is a real issue, and they're so quick to try and flood back in. Flood out and out. They go. Lotus is one. And yeah,
That was their map pick. This is now FUT's neck of the woods. And as we said before, looking at the results for both, it's almost inverted from one side to the other. If there was any chance to bounce back, it would be now. And with FUT on the attack, it's that standard A pistol we expect.
yeah, this is the only repeat of the maps that was played against Vitality for BBL. So there's a little bit of tape to work with if you're FUT. So far, pretty easy getting out. You say that, and then the fights ensue, and it is going to end up in a 3-on-3.
Yeah, a couple trades out on site, but FUT not in a position to plant just yet. Maybe a chance with BBL already in screens to go early on this one.
I mean, there's a star there, but they've just walked out. No contest. Rose is telling the players what to do as they go round wide. Yetishi, an issue from the corner, and well, cleared out. It goes down to a 2-on-2. Zeus looking to try and peek. He still has nade. That's going to be important. And he goes one-on-one. Loiter versus Sociable Controller versus Captain. And not enough time for Loiter. He wants that star back so he can smoke up. And he doesn't have the health to hold on. It is FUT to win the pistol round.
Yeah, two of the most clutch players in the server duking it out for the pistol. FUT getting there first in this series, if I'm not mistaken. And so for BBL, it's going to be all about rebuilding on this defender's side. And for FUT, carrying on with what they've got here. I would love to see a nice anti-eco from them into a bonus.
Yeah, get that momentum rolling.
Put some daylight between the teams, because they went up 5-2 on Lotus and then they sort of imploded.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal to watch, was it? BBL, though, we've not necessarily seen them at the anti-eco. Have they got any plans? What's the thought process here? I think as well, when we think of this BBL roster, I mean, excluding one, but they've had history against FUT all the way back in Red Bull Homegrounds 2024,
yeah,
when they played in that best of 5.
Yeah, the Turkish qualifier. It went all 5 maps. So.
Of course. I think that was an early indication of where this roster was destined to reach.
For sure. It's one of the first appearances from Zeus in that tournament as well. As we said, I don't think he only ever had one win against this core when they were on Pacific, so it's been a difficult one. Looking at it here, BBL just with pistols on their A defense. Done a pretty good job so far with only classics, however. Was one picked up at the start, and Larrock's Bandit getting another onto SOP. Yetish down to 46, rotation happening on both sides.
Yeah, it's being heard. It's just his rifle. You put your hopes in as he goes forward. Larrock in from behind. I don't know if he's been accounted for here. As the players do plant safely.
One enemy remaining.
And in the end, I think it's going to be easier enough.
Spike planted.
Yeah, well dealt with by Zeus. 3 on the round. And this is when we were just saying, can FUT keep this clean? One more from Larrock. makes that bonus round a real difficulty here.
I mean, he's got to buy in the next. He doesn't necessarily need to save the rifle.
So he's going to go ahead, roll the dice and give it a go. There's a crossfire set up on back pillar. It's Zeus lingering in the spawn garden, though, which is the biggest of issues for Larok. That's a line which he's going to struggle to get past here. And Zeus just takes the timing to make it a quad kill. So, yeah, FUT get the majority of the guns through in the end. Should be a second Phantom recovered there as well.
And it's also one away for a showstopper on Zeus. Nice start for him. You can see the issues that BBL want to cause on their defense. Crawling for heaven. I think overall, once FUT get their chance to settle their nerves and post, it was as easy as that.
Same start as the previous map for them, of course, though. So now we start to look at this one. Mini banging on about mid-control in the absence of a Viper, and it is only Yetajay detached, as it seems like FUT are ready to take Garage 4 strong. No further development on that, but Loiter down to 51. That is the lurk cut out.
Talk about mid. Mid, no. No issue at all. You've got to go and re-clear that if you are FUT. Worried about vents, worried about being hidden behind the box.
Can also just sort of see from the positioning and how you've got this deep sight hold on the FUT side as well. They're happy to give up that space.
Yeah, but are they? It's not really giving up the space. It's playing behind your utility. The fact that you have a star, the fact that you have...
Yeah, from the site itself, right? That's the point in question here for BBL. And they've managed to use this to get numbers over through screens as well. Nade's not going to do too much. Zeus has a lot to get past.
Does manage to trade out with his rocket. Still the delay through the grav well. And if the players do step into heaven, they're known about because of this
left.
wall from the Vise.
It's down. Kreven is dead.
Missed that one, but BBL haven't. They know their timings, they know the gaps, and you're looking at Loiter towards that B side, playing in hell.
Yeah, little time left here on this one, though, and actually Lovers Rock with the Neon gets a good rotation.
Yeah, calling for support, but the players of FUT haven't even adjusted, haven't even thought about it, and don't even sweat. 4 alive in the end, and BBL get their first round.
Yeah, very important round for BBL to find at this stage in the game. We were just speaking about the parallels with the previous. FUT make the most of the mid-control, I think, past losing Yetajay here early. Was a little surprised to see him contact in there. Just the late sight control. Difficult to dig out, and I think that's what I was going back to, really. If BBL aren't going to fight for mid, then at least they know they've got a good sight hold.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Lovers Rock still not seeing anything through mid as he continues to shoulder peak, but with the announcement of gunshots, nobody really comes to support. Again, happy to give up that tower space. Give up everything entirely, the Rock interested.
Yeah, just hanging back on this angle. Spike slowly making its way towards A through sewers. Signs of commitment here for FUT.
Issue is that BBL play on the front foot here. Oh, Lovers Rock's not seeing anything. Is that a red herring?
I mean, that's the thing. BBL are really without information at this point in time. They want to gamble towards one side of the map. It looks like they're going to go for B, but the A execution is just about to come in.
Kreven and Lovers Rock, the only ones here. The utility sent forth, the Vines used, and Lovers Rock waiting for his opportunity to drop out. Does so, and gets the kills he's looking for, but the rest of BBL are here. It's still equal in the man count, still equal in the server, but the player, the Loiter, so far away, so he has to clutch up in 2v1.
Yeah, and in terms of stars, doesn't look...
Brace yourselves for a meteor strike.
Touchdown.
The KFC Double Down has landed.
Welcome back.
All meat, no buns.
About finger licking time.
The Double Down is back.
Look like he's got any at his disposal here. Maybe one coming back up on recall, but FUT can play this 2 versus 1 tried and true.
Sociable up first.
And Zeus is actually not there to peek off him immediately.
Well, first star sent forwards. Sociable peeking out. Loiter's seen. So both players play together, shoulder to shoulder. And there's a little bit of doubt as to where Loiter's actually gone, as they both go under Stacker, and, well, Zeus is the one to win it. 3-2 for FUT.
I mean, Zeus, 10-2 right now. He is dictating the play as it stands. It's been the real outlet for FUT when they've needed him. Rose actually made some comments about the duelist who was formerly his teammate many moons ago in the build-up to this game.
Yeah.
Said about him, you know, he's just inconsistent more than anything else. And I can't help but agree with those comments. It's right now, though, that we're getting the best of him, and that's what FUT need.
Yeah, Lovers Rock sitting on his operator, as we know he can very quickly start to control the game. Mid is where he's been placed. And FUT waiting for BBL to do something here.
It's not really much of a change-up in the defense from BBL. More than anything, it's Lovers Rock in mid with this operator. Otherwise, Kraven's still stationed on A with that Vice util. And FUT looking pretty happy to play into it, all things considered. Zeus has got the gap closed, and while Sop's the only one that can really follow him up.
Kraven's just notifying Rose that players could be scaling up behind this wall. FUT are going to get full tower control, A-Heaven control.
Yeah, I mean, look, with Loiter just wedged into B main here, they're happy to bring the extra numbers over. So BBL probably with the best chance at a site defense that we've seen from them so far.
Slarrock to make sure that they don't boss out in towards CT. But it will be out of heaven instead. A good flash that brings the operator off, and Kraven gone as well. FUT have completely overran the site. There's been no contest. Lovers Rock just trying to escape, but he won't be able to. And I think while Loiter was in B main, he'll stay there, trying to save that rifle.
Yeah, this is a really well-executed round from FUT. And again, just showing that they're not scared of this Vice setup whatsoever. The freedom that they've been allowed in mid has just enabled them to create so much more pressure on the map. BBL can't withstand it right now. They know how much money is left here, so Loiter will be lucky to save this one.
Or maybe he'll just fight his way through to the death.
Wonder how many more FUT players actually want to go and hunt this down, and the answer is none. Financial worries of their own here.
Yeah, the fact that Yetage's on 450, Sociable on 350.
Yeah, 3 of them under 1,000 credits when you look at Zeus as well, so
yeah,
important he stays alive. The old saying, 3 can buy for 2, but not the other way around, so FUT up with a 4-1 lead. Again, it's looking a lot like the last map, Cairo.
Yeah, it is. And I think, I'm wondering when we get the key timeout, because he's always good at making the adaptations and telling the players where they went wrong, what to do next.
I think this was also a big factor of BBL's split in the past. More so on their attack side, if I recall. Some key fixtures played against NRG. There's Santiago Jules that we saw, but it's this showstopper from Zeus really more than anything, which is the threat. On the BBL side, a couple of choice tools here and there. Steel Garden and most likely Lovers Rock here with an overdrive. So if he runs into any traffic, it's a 2-1-2. He's playing rotation. First contact B.
If Larocque gets 1 kill, he has that showstopper that's going to turn the head, or turn around on its head. Still FUT though, pretty spread out, looking for clues as to what actually this setup looks like for BBL.
Yeah, BBL would just love that little bit of mid-information dropped in here. You can see they're just orbiting on the edge of it. But the spike's been waiting outside of A for the duration of the round. Sociable calling the shots from just on the exterior of Garage. He has an ult, he can join up with the rest of the team. This is where Larocque makes his move with the Soul Rifle.
Up against Crystalli, who has been pretty decent so far when I think back to Lotus, but not here. That's going to be the acceleration onto the ace site, and Rose is not as sharp shooting as he has been in the past. 4-on-4.
Yeah, no players in heaven as it stands, but still opting for the open plant here from Yetage. That's where the wraparound comes through in ramp.
If this gets spicy, I mean, there's ultimates to commit here, and that's exactly the case as Zeus tries to get back. Kreven's rifle is making issues, but not issues that Zop can't solve. Out of CT go BBL, and I'm worried about how this open plant might actually look as the players try and send it towards heaven. The Cosmic Divide going to be a problem, which BBL can hold on. A rifle in Loita's hands, waiting for the players to peek him. Oh, there goes Zop. Yetiji now next up, a one-on-one against Loita, who's known for this. Spike halved, off it, waits for Yetiji to peek him, but tap of the spike is what betrays him. And FUT get the round.
The crazy thing is, if Loita goes full stick on that first tap, I just wonder how close it ends up getting. Of course, he's playing for the bait around his own ult. Quite the investment made on the BBL side with that overdrive from Lover's Rock as well. That was the one a little less conditional. You were expecting to come in with him buying just the heavy shield.
But you can understand why, right? Because overall, I mean, they bring it within one. They're making FUT's economy work once again. Sociable on 950, Sop on 50 of his own.
Yeah. I mean, this is on a knife's edge, really, Cairo. But BBL have to find a way to get themselves back in this game, because if FUT pick up this round, then they just start to run away with it.
That starts to get worrying. Flash through it. The Rays coming back in with the showstopper. Everyone running for the hills. Just probably most suspect, and he is gone. Kreven at the same time lost though, and that's going to be the big issue for FUT's defense.
Yeah, Yetiji's found so much space here on A, but they're running into Rose.
Ah, but he has not got a chance to fight back. Spike can head in with little to no contest unless Lorok gets this chance. This gap doesn't take it. So BBL reset and look to play together.
Yeah, he's got the nade here at the very least. That one gets lobbed in with the grab well. Barely any chip on the surface as Yetiji now has this pit to play from.
Very unlucky. As we see BBL still trying to make their inroads, still trying to make their way back in. Sociable is coming back in on main. He's a late win condition should they need it. I think, yeah, that's Sop's ultimate used.
Yeah, just not leaving anything down to chance here for and BBL seeing what they can get away with. All three players trying to leave, and it's the operator that goes down. Yetiji pushing past his own pit, picks that one off. And I mean, now in terms of what you've got for the next round, it's not all too much. FUT have made this one their own.
They will die.
And they don't seem to be stopping. I mean, Kreven losing that one-on-one, allowing that A site to be open. I mean, it's fair enough to be said, right? This is FUT's map pick. There's an asterisk that can be put onto this by BBL, but I mean, overall, I'm so surprised that it's went like this, considering, right? When we saw it last time against Vitality, we saw what Vitality could do when they started their own comeback.
Yeah. BBL right now just have to find some point of success on the map, because it honestly feels like we're seeing almost a repeat every single round. Larok did well against Crostali and Sewer last time. He's here again, looking for a fight. It's Yetiji they've walked into, and very nearly does the FUT player find a second. It's a 4-on-4 situation.
Yeah, but that Viper's wall going to be not a problem anymore.
They've left Zeus behind here as well, and any player drops into vent, they're straight down the throat of Sociable. Easy enough for him. It's Larok gone. Loiter maybe looking for a little bit of util to play back through, but Sociable's going to get another no trouble. FUT can go pretty much anywhere they please on this round because they've won every single fight presented to them.
I mean, Rose here before the spike is, unfortunately, caught out.
They win it on elimination.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a 50-50 on that engagement there between him and Sociable. And should Rose have won it, maybe it gets a little bit spicy. But overall, FUT up to 7. This gap increasing more and more.
So many individual fights taken, and you can understand the scrappy nature of BBL in this position with the weapons that they carried into it. Now the bigger picture has to come together for them. There's an op-out for Lover's Rock, a couple of big ults to play with. Let's head over to the comms and see what FUT are doing to stop them.
Kurtarsana bana.
Sakin.
Adam rafter'da kanka, pikleyeceğim ona ben. Rampamı alsana.
Bekle.
Eyvallah.
Heaven solda. Heaven.
Kurtla pik atsana oraya. Kurt aç. Sağa paranoya atacağım.
Kapadım. 80 vurdum.
Adam burada.
Standa. Sana uç reis. Nice 80 vurdum sana.
Ya beyler.
Face your fear.
Nereden attı la ultiyi?
A rampa. Bayağı uzaktan attı.
Okey. Ben bakıyorum vente. Biraz
Yapma.
chillleyelim. B Heaven'a kontak yürüyeceğim devamında. Ya bütün herkesin infosunu aldılar. Astra
Evet,
B'yi
aynen
açmış
bakıyorum.
olabilir.
Evet,
Öyle
ona
bir olay var.
bakıyorum.
Yeto lazımsın.
B'yle bakmıyorum şu an.
Eksiz
Biliyorum.
gel. B main'den orb alıp Sky ulti basmamız lazım. Ya da gel ya. Gel trade'imi alırsın sen benim.
2 yürüyor. Bir tane daha. 2.
Amına koyayım. Ah
Ya bak la.
konuşmasam.
Spike down mid.
2 tane solunda. Diğeri muhtemelen A'da deep kaldı. Step verdin.
30 seconds left.
A spike given back to Yetege, and already seeing Loiter. Can't win it out. So BBL able to get their second round of the half.
Yeah, BBL, a much needed round from their perspective, of course. We've stressed it a couple of times now. FUT really putting some daylight between the two of them. And this time it's Kreven introduced to the mid fight where previously he was absent. Thorns there, switch up in terms of setup. Honestly, much better trades and spacing from this defender's side where they've been so lackluster up until that point. Zeus dropped in an ice bucket. Fiery form from him so far in the map. And he'll lead that charge once again.
Looking to, oh, LaRock, take his time in. Oh, he's behind the players. He can't quite get his second. FUT now able to head towards B where Loiter is the lone anchor. I mean, he could deny the spike getting out of main, and that would be a huge problem for FUT. But the shots aren't hitting. Loiter able to take one with him. Lover's Rock on an operator. You can't help but feel this is going to be a save.
More of the same. BBL gets sucked into the mid duel this time. And Lover's Rock, or Larrock I should say, for the position that he had, you have to argue, not coming up with as much value as he potentially should have found. Leaves Loiter out to dry on the site itself. And again, it's this conversation of BBL with a decision to make. At the start of the game, felt like they were happy to give up that space. Now they're fighting for it, which is making the sites more vulnerable. It's just looked very awkward, whereas FUT are really happy to roll with the punches.
It's haymakers they keep throwing at their opponents. Hopefully, I guess the second half looks better for them. But at this point in time, we'll even have a chance in that second half with the way that things are going.
One of the big things for me to take away from that Vitality game, I think, was just the amount of 2 versus 5s that BBL were winning. The amount of times they had a player disadvantage and were able to recover from it. Now put in a situation where FUT went positive. Every player across the board in the green for first engagements against Pacific. Different team, of course, but just kind of speaks volumes to when they get in these positions, they have been so much more capable. BBL really at odds with the situation as they've only got 2 more rounds to recover this defender's side. This is the first time, really, that we see Lover's Rock get on an aggressive angle early and take away some of that A space.
It's nice. Gives BBL a lot of hope. He can't overstep, though, because if he does, Yetige's there to receive. Meanwhile, that B push is going on. Kreven is able to at least take down Shot. I mean, even throwing in the ultimate, Crystalli does so well. Yetige nowhere near that operator. And this one's already done.
It's unbelievable from Crystalli. This kid gets better every time you watch him.
Yeah.
Had a 1v4 last time he played Split, and here nearly takes down 4 players by himself. FUT almost home and dry. 9 rounds on their attack side here. And look, we know both teams are fantastic when they're put on this half of the server, Cairo, but we're starting to get into really uncomfortable territory for BBL now. The sort of territory that they've just not been in so far this stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. With BBL, we've not necessarily seen them sweat. I think if it was going to be any team to do it, it would have been FUT. Just with the game plan, the way that they played against. Actually, I wonder how Na'Vi would fare against it, considering how well they played against FUT. But overall, yeah, BBL need to win this next round, or we're looking at a FUT dominance on split.
I mean, where does that then shape us up heading into Sunset? Map which, you know, BBL are undefeated on so far this year, but yet to debut it in the VCT. FUT 1 win for the time we've seen it from them. Again, trying to exploit this A space and middle. Sociable's just got past the smoke.
Oh, I nearly passed the operator as well. Same time though, look at the other arm of this push. Now the strong arm starts to hit towards A.
Yeah, BBL actually managing to backfill the site a little bit here. Larok, quick double, one from the gun, the other from the paint shells, and as soon as Sociable takes that next step of his timing, that's when the rest of FUT want to follow things up. Kill from Crystali sends them on their way, and with Lover's Rock walking back into trouble, he is a dead man. Kreven gets the kill in transition, and FUT have cancelled. Sociable said, that's where the last man is. Go take the A site, it's yours for the taking.
Sop even takes a step forward, looking to take the fight himself, but he has left a timing against Crystali.
Just depends how quick Kreven is to this through screens. The Seekers are there just to confirm it. Kreven spends half the mag trying to break it. Has to put more bullets back into the gun, but now cornered from two different positions. FUT have him caught twofold. Nothing that can be done from there. It's 10 in the opening 12 for FUT. A statement response from them.
Yeah, it has been. BBL have not looked as good as they did on Lotus. A lot of issues arising, and it's starting to worry. But with that being said, we did have an interview before this match with Loiter, so let's hear what he had to say.
One enemy remaining.
Loiter, exciting match.
A pistol round that could, quite frankly, decide this match.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird run, right? When you look at the scorecard right now, you wouldn't think it was 10-2, but BBL need to put up their weight here. Let's see what they're saying in this pistol.
B'de setup olur. B'de setup olur.
Okey. A'ya gelsin Umut, yürü benimle gel.
Bekle space'ler bekle.
Götüm yürü. Ölümüne oynama gel.
Bekledim.
Roller atacağım.
Şerif alın
Smoke
olabilir.
versene.
A'da da oynuyor
Umut,
olabilir.
Fantik Smoke'dan sonra aşağı piklesene
Veriyorum.
Pro'da.
Tamam. Bekle veriyorum.
Fake Smoke yani Umut.
İkisiniz orada bu arada, haberiniz olsun.
İste.
Gel yakına.
Ben şu an
Açtım.
Rampa boş Umut, ona pikledim.
Rampa boş.
Get heaven'a.
Eren B'de sadece smoke attı ve bomba kırdı. Bombanın burayı yürütmemeye
Midden boş.
Ne yürüyelim, gelsenize.
Mid'de
Adam
setup
bence
var. Sky flash
Ay'a
var.
var. Ay'a çekiyor bizi. B'ye tutmazsanız kontak.
Tamam.
Tamam beni dinle. Mid'de flash Sky
kanka Şerif'in
flash
var.
patlattı. Mid'de boş gördü. Mid'de setup vardı büyük ihtimal. O yüzden
Kanka
flash attı.
midden geçmeye çalışacağım. B'ye yürü.
Bol var kanka midde, gel.
Eren bombayı alsana.
Viper bolu.
Tamam bize setup gelebilir.
Boş smoke geldi
Ben
bir
geçiyorum.
dururken.
Tamam, dikkat et.
Smoke'tan bir yandan
Şey,
patlayabilirsiniz birlikte. Beyler,
Anti
benim
flash'ım
yok. Ben de midden
ben.
4 atacağım o ara.
Tamam ben
Dur
cross.
bir kurt attı lan sanki.
Atlayalım mı? Search
Pardon,
atalım
yanlış
direkt.
bilmişim. Sorry.
Search atın ilk kontraktan
Tamam bekle
patlayın.
ben şey
Tamam anti.
sadece
Şu an
kaymam
şey
var.
var, smoke var. Atamıyoruz.
Bekle.
Atamıyoruz search.
Bitti.
Gel
Doğru gelecek,
pikleyelim.
sağlı çıkmanız lazım. Uğur atacak adam.
Ne?
Ne? Dim.
İlk
Woman
kontraktan.
default gelin.
Go.
Neydi attım
30
adama?
seconds left.
Evet.
Stun verdim.
Öldü.
Nice.
Heaven olur.
Bir tane sağda
Snipe
dur.
bir.
Sağda bir
Allah
dakika.
boş gel Umut sen neyim?
Bitti. Nice.
Gel.
Nice, chill'le.
Heaven bir.
Heaven biri.
Atlamadı.
kanka.
Duracağım kapalı.
Arkayı alacağım.
Öldü.
Al.
Al,
5'e
kapalı
geçeyim.
kuruyorum.
Kaan arkayı bana sal.
Ustayım. Heaven'a jiggle atabilecek var mı?
Var balcım var.
Atıyorum
Beyler,
kanka.
tamam.
Aman Draven gider.
So BBL find themselves 5 alive in post with both Zeus and Yetaji trying to find their way back in, and that could be the gap that they were looking for. Some players low here, so somewhat doable, and Yetaji makes it look like it. Instead, BBL turn on them and win the round.
Yeah, instant clap back after losing only their second pistol in the stage. If your stat was correct from earlier, you know, the mental maths that we were doing. And this is exactly what you want to see from the attack side. Again, think about this map and the bias that it has. It's lent more towards the attack side in recent times. And, well, looking at it here, if BBL can keep finding results like that, the game can change very quickly. We saw how those leads fell away from FUT at points in their previous matches. And Vlad was speaking about it himself. Sometimes things leading to inaction in the comms. Everyone sort of complaining about certain things and not making the necessary adjustments in the heat of the moment.
This could be an issue though, as the players try to fight through mids, and well, it's ended up in a highlight clip for the BBL players. So Loita taking the space away from FUT.
Bit of caution required here now for BBL though if they want to get the rifles through. Couple pistols in play, and Loita is one of them. Brilliantly done from the Bandit. And with that, the purchase should look good coming into the next round, Cairo. No talk of tingles from me just yet, but at what point do we start to believe in this comeback?
Let's see how the bonus goes. Win the bonus, then it's on. But I'll tell you what else is on. Our Stage 2 finals in Barcelona, Hazza. If you want to get your tickets, make sure to scan the QR code.
I'm going to get my phone out right now.
All right.
Get that scanned. Open riot.com, put in my password.
What is your password?
None of your business. But yeah, they're very much still on sale. 3 days of action. Get stuck in. Good to see you at the end of August.
Oh. BBL looking to see the end of this round as they continue on, and that's a lovely entry by Larocque. This bonus round started off right, and as you said, this bonus round has bite to it, as we've already seen. Zeus set up early in B main.
This is something which BBL really struggled to grapple with. Extremity control on their defense. It's given some space here to FUT. Crystali even going to test for info on 8. That's where the spike is heading. I mean, BBL trying to fake through B at the same time. They're completely split, and Sop has managed to find both players in tower through the smoke. At what point did FUT realize this is an A hit, though?
Yeah, this is a signature in their kickoff playstyle, except this time you're playing against individuals that can match your own. Sop doing that. And time starting to tick away. BBL are letting the granules fall into the hourglass.
I mean, it's a great supportive smoke here from Sociable as well to just prop up Crostali in backside as the rest of BBL encroach. Sop's caught a little more damage in transition, but Crostali can't stand his ground for long enough. Does go to a post plant.
Zeus is the one encroaching from main.
Yeah.
Sociable needs to be careful in his 1 versus 1.
Because Kreven's managed to sneak all the way up ramp for the time being. Strong off angle for him to take against Sociable, but it's the fight which he fails to win. BBL on the back foot now, 2 versus 3, back to the wall. Larocque at the map. And Loiter there from elbow. This duo always so confident to play off one another in a man disadvantage, or maybe even more. Larocque down and Loiter left behind. Brother to brother. This is exactly what they need. Sop 12 HP. He's still going to win the fight. There's no time for it left. And so Loiter and Larocque have done the unthinkable to keep BBL going.
The fact that Larocque wins his fights, being the low HP that he is unbelievable. So quick on the trigger. I mean, this is a nice entry. Sop, unbelievable himself. And then after that, Sociable kill, 12 HP, and still comes out with 2.
It's crazy. Larocque literally just saying in the week as well about how, you know, they can be 2v5, 1v5. He doesn't care. As long as it's Loiter left behind, he has full faith in his teammate, and it's another situation they're able to overturn. Little set piece, early aggression here from FUT. Lover's Rock, dealing with it, no problem.
Yeah, not accounted for, and Lover's Rock, lovely stuff. Does try to commit with his ultimate there through the razor wires, doesn't work out.
Little bit of an overheat maybe, especially on a round like this.
Yeah, now there's a rifle in Crystali's hands. Spike not committed to anywhere, but his body's walking in towards B, and Zeus finds a gap of his own.
So at this point in the game where FUT have a thought on the back of their minds, BBL just getting in the woodwork all over them. 3 versus 2 here. Crostali can still be the difference maker.
Player standing.
Zeus
One enemy
could perhaps
remaining.
win the round. Looking for one more, but it's up against Leuten, as you said, the one that they depend the most upon. That gap reduced to 4.
He just does it every single time. So good from those positions. Zeus over-delivering up until that point. I think it was 12 and 4 at one point, now 15 and 11. Definitely slowed down the pace a little bit, and it makes you wonder, past him, who else on FUT is present here and ready to take us to a decider in the derby? Because BBL have grown back into the game. This gun round means absolutely everything for them to get back on terms. Could be looking at a 2-round gap by the time this one's done.
I mean, BBL find themselves low on the economy as well as they burst in towards main. And FUT tried to run for the hills, but Zeus just tries to stand up, tries to stand the test. That's not what you want here. And Ultimate's committed now. BBL have exactly what they want. A little bit of blood for the Blood Throne.
Yeah, Cosmic Divide gives a pocket from which FUT can play. Actually, Yetajay is just going to go ahead and fully disrespect this. Not bad. Kill onto Loiter. And FUT think this is a full rotation, but in fact,
Yeah.
BBL are going to re-clear it.
So Yetajay, the disrespect he showed worked out, but against however many bodies are sitting here, that's where you start to wonder. And Rose, at the same time, begins to work the middle of the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's this mid-rounding that's taking quite a bit of time here for BBL, and as they're eating into that time bank, it's giving more opportunities for FUT to get into position to support Yetajay. He's going to be on his lonesome, though. 3 targets in front of him,
30
Garage.
seconds left.
Yeah, looking to hold the smoke, and now with the flash out, manages to swing away from it and does at least come away with 1. So the numbers are somewhat even, but the timing works in favour of BBL to get that spike down. All 3 players of FUT disconnected.
Yeah, quick on the uptake, though, and actually, Sociable without a TP can't get into this flank without giving away information.
So the information given and the time taken is allowed for Kevin to get that Steel Garden out. Players have dodged it though, and Sociable now, he has players to face up against. Larocque wins that one, so advantage now towards the post plan, and it continues on that way as BBL look to make it within 3, but not if they can get by Cristali. 3 of his own, puts FUT on 11. That's unbelievable skill.
A Red Bull clutch, and when it comes down to it, Crostali is king.
Last player standing.
What kind of nerves is this kid made of? There shouldn't be any world in which he's able to take timing on timing, but the way he isolates this fight, just off the shoulder of that CT wall, is unbelievable. That's the play that breaks your back. That is the play which surely wins the map for FUT.
You would think so. With the ultimates that can propel them to the end of this map, with the buy broken on the attack. A hint of a buy though through the Stinger spray.
Yeah, it's not much though, is it, Cairo?
No.
And with Sop finding the only mid player, Zeus is ready for this target-rich environment. Rocket prepared, Larocque the one to get dropped by it. Zeus still going, he wants all of these BBL players dead. And very soon, his wish may be granted. Lover's Rock, the last left. Sop's already closed the net on him, and there you go. FUT with 12. And after that watershed moment at the end of the previous, you can only see this ending one way. Sunset on the horizon now.
It certainly feels that to be the way. So far, FUT have just managed to course correct, and I thought BBL might have the goods to actually bridge this gap. They're coming back in with a bye. How long can they keep themselves alive before FUT ultimately win this map?
And Vlad was saying he thinks that this is the best map pool that FUT have had in a while. So getting to see that sunset again can only be a good thing for them. Yetajay, the front man, so aggressive in his stance for mid control. BBL want a double swing off this, but Yetije is out of there, no problem.
No issues. Still haven't really dealt with the mid, though. His FUT are posturing in for a fight. Yetiji's just walked through his own orb.
Yeah, he wants more of this, banking some of that util to buy delay, but it's Larocque again that makes all of the difference for BBL. Carrying the torch, which Rose will keep alight with one of his own. Crystali still in play, but nowhere near influencing this round right now. BBL have an open A site, and it's a matter of time before they put themselves in post-plant.
And if you're FUT, do you attempt it? I mean, Sociable continues to be the one who does not have the money. Although, with Sop starting to think about this rotation...
Yeah, you look on the BBL side and every one of them's going for broke if you can find a kill here. So all damage is good damage. Sop's ready to fight them here from the Heaven Smoke, just floating around the edge of it. Does catch Larocque, knew he was elevated from the Satchel audio cue. But just good for the one right now, and then Crystali with his own decision to make. Wants to follow this one up.
I mean, did get that 3K the other round.
Surely he wouldn't be able to get another one here. Rose does get the early information, so at the very least, the sky is given up here from Crystali. Just thinking about where he can get an exit for his troubles. Loiter still lingering in main, but for all intents and purposes, BBL do have this round wrapped up. And it's an imperative round for them to find. Keeps them in the game. 5, the gap between the teams, but FUT still feeling like they're in full control right now.
Yeah, it feels as if they can ultimately decide when this match is finished or when this map is finished, apologies. The mid fight though, somewhat decent, but a little bit cheeky from Yetije. That's why we're going to see the first timeout come through from the coaches of FUT. As he looked at
and looking at it here with the timeout now behind them. Final check-in from the FUT coaching staff. They've got 5 opportunities to wrap this one up. 4 ultimates, most importantly, and it's going to take them messing up this cycle for things to go awry.
Yeah, stockpile, but that could be the first issue that begins to lead for a BBL comeback as they defumigate the pit, and Creven even finding Zeus. Where's that come from as the players walk out? They don't clear Sociable, but Loiter does! Crystali's still alive, and that's the real hope in this round. His rifle work sublime. Could he go one step further? It looks like it. 1-5!
Crystali!
It's an ace to finish out map number 2.
Another sublime sequence from Crystali. Historically, that Neon Waylay. What do you prefer?
I think I'm going to go Neon Whaley. I don't think Deadlock's seen a lot of wins, to be honest, but I think that's because Pacific's played it mostly.
And one of the strengths of that comp, of course, is fighting for some early A space, and you can see it here already. FUT looking interested. Loiter the one guarding this position from elbow, and just jumping a couple times into those pistols to confirm what he already knew. Fog of War in middle, though, and that's where FUT are right now.
Yeah, but they're walking in towards Creven's Viper, and already a molly used up, so retreats. And at the same time, a fight through mid. Rose lucky to get that kill on the fadeaway as BBL have firmly announced that B is in their control, and there's no way out for the attackers of FUT.
It's this layered utility as well, with Rose wrapping around through middle. Does give a way back into this one for FUT. Only a 3 versus 4 as it stands, and of course, knowing BBL were pushed up, there is the concern of a second player. Loiter, of course, on the A site, however.
It feels a bit free. Creven now dropping the door in the faces of FUT, so they have to break this and tell BBL where they want to go, but instead it's towards top mid that they move. The rotators brought back interested as Sociable nearly gets caught off guard by Creven.
Yeah, it looks like FUT are going to guess correctly here and make it towards the A site, but Creven does catch one, and it's all onto Loiter in the elbow now.
10 seconds
He knows
left.
this. Zeus trying to meet the rotating players from the B side as he's forced further and further back, and they've escaped him. So they just overwhelm Crystal. Zeus has to fight back onto the spike. Already being worked on. He's found two.
No time.
Yep, but that's it. The time working against him. And unfortunately, Low himself, he needs to die, and does. So BBL win the first round.
Yeah, honestly, it's another pistol round for BBL. They have barely missed a beat in that department so far. Just have to see if they can kick on from it. This net was really nice. For those who haven't watched enough Deadlock, perhaps, it does go through walls. So obviously, any player in market there would have been caught. And it's just the full collapse from the defense into this space, which has been really nice to see.
Let's go! Bait it all! Bait it!
We're going out.
I don't know who's baiting.
I think it might have been towards just being late there.
I'm out of here.
And again, starting to threaten this B side, and these walls becoming an issue for the Pistols of FUT.
Oh my god. Takes forever. It's like trying to get blood out of a stone.
BBL not wasting any time and getting blood on the canvas. In zone flawless to finish the second round.
Yeah, look, it's just so comfortable right now. And I think if FUT want to keep going for these direct hits, they're going to have a lot of issues getting past BBL's Sentinel setups. Scaling past some of that utility.
Kill confirmed.
Larok is having his way with things right now.
Yeah.
All too simple for him to offer relief. And the great thing about Deadlock as well is just global utility. So those sensors are always going to find something for someone to play off.
Yeah, but that's if there's any noise. The lurkers are going to be the real issue to that. But I mean, the way FUT play, I don't think you're going to get many lurkers, let's be honest.
Doesn't feel like Yetajay has been able to provide that, where Creven is a lot different in how he sets up.
I have to say as well, I like Laroc's walls. It seems as if FUT, though, have set their eyes on B main in towards the Judge.
Setup looked decent. Loiter was just hanging back with the paranoia to blind up any of those targets past Lovers Rock's first kill onto Sociable. And with the smokes gone, this A site is going to be difficult to take, or at least hold on to. Not too much in the way of weaponry here still for BBL, though. Spectres can still do a lot of work up close, and as 3 players arrive at the scene, Zeus wastes no time in removing them. Surgical with the aim, and Sop is there just to save him on the final involvement.
That's what damage Creven can do with his Guardian now.
Spike planted.
I mean, a double stack at either side. Pick your poison.
And it is a tough one to swallow in the end there. FUT getting their first round on the board, coming in the third round. Cairo, again, it's just map after map, starting in a very similar fashion. Makes you wonder if there are more layers to BBL's defensive game here than what we saw on Split. That is the concern more than anything else, if they can hang on here early.
Operator out. And I think right now FUT are playing a game of dodge the deadlock, as that setup towards the B site has been for the past 4 rounds now. That's just a very quick hit onto 8.
Go, go, go.
Gravnet and Walsh still in the pocket of the deadlock as the players start to make their way out. BBL are the ones who strike first, but probably not for much longer. He is just forced all the way back, and FUT still try to scale up from elbow.
Yeah, flooding in nicely. Operator yet to be revealed, I think, from Lovers Rock. He's managed to reposition. Of course, as you said, there's the threat, the constant threat of a contact out on B.
If you're contacting into that operator, as you say, the Rock lone, that's one to keep your eye on. But FUT, just wondering when they pull the trigger, and it seems to be now. The Rock's operator, did the drone see? I don't think they did. He's waiting for his time as the players try to get out. Still issues, Sociable working in through Ivy. Still no real gunfights.
Time's running out here for FUT, though. They've got to go.
Yeah, and as they do walk into Lovers Rock. and they also walk into the crossfire from Rose. Well set up by BBL, simple and effect. There is still a time, still a way to work this for FUT. It doesn't work out in the end, and BBL convert.
BBL with all the players in the right place there and unwavering in their commitment to the A site defense. Not moving off. As there was really no extra pressure created by FUT. They just gone for a full freeze, waiting for something to happen. There's no overextension though, discipline shown on the BBL side. Not often we can say that, but it's an element to their game of Facet which they've had to introduce against some of these teams who do prepare for it.
Lovers Rock through mid this time. Played in. The dart broken, but instead retreats, looks to reinforce B.
Yeah, 3 players here in those brand new BBL jerseys, ready to receive.
They look good, man, I'll be honest.
They do. If only they shipped outside of Turkey. Okay.
Toxins going up.
But FUT, once again, not really offering too much in terms of raising question marks on the map. It's been made a little easy for BBL in terms of that macro game so far. That head-to-head between Sociable and Rose we keep talking of. Crostali is going to try and sell a little bit here through the drone. Up out through Garage and onto A. And it has caught the interest of La Rock. So only Creven watching out on the B site right now.
I mean, the Molly has at least bought a little bit of time, but not to deny Zeus. I mean, Lovers Rock retreating, but he could have a challenge here as Sop has moved in towards the CT space. And unfortunately, Sop's the one who wins out.
Yeah, it's just the shift walk around the corner is always going to betray him there. Sop with a crucial kill at this stage in the round. 4 versus 3, and Larrock still needs a kill to get that ult online.
And you look, crossfire established. Trying to break this one down. It's actually a really good paranoia. Larrock, oh, he's been caught! Yetege! Lovely stuff! And FUT back within 1.
Yetu out of nowhere comes cannoning through. You thought the crossfire was broken, but BBL are just transfixed on the player's pillar. They don't account for the close corner, and Yetege have no idea how he gets this second set of players. But FUT are right back in this one for a round where they look to be pegged back the entire time. BBL actually gonna dip into their pockets for a timeout heading into sunset, so they chose to start on the attack.
Larrock is calling for reinforcements as I've heard the bodies moving in. Some indication at least.
Has the ult. Lovers Rock as well. He's not too far away, just on the perimeter of this B site. So there are certainly ways that this can get out of hand. And with FUT being so direct in terms of what their commitment looks like, just have to see. Smoke replenished, and they're ready for the green light on this one.
They are going to walk out though, and LaRox went into his util belt at the wrong time. The ultimate used, and unfortunately, well, Lovers Rock's only able to get 1.
Nothing there.
And then, I mean, it gets even worse for BBL as they're not able to connect the deadlock 1 either. Spike in, and FUT can wipe the sweat off their brow.
Yeah, only invited to front site control here, so nothing deep this time around.
Crostali, with the support of Zeus, as the Sheriff spam away and nothing really connecting at this point. An extensive post plant now as 3 players are in main. It's just Zeus here, and this could be a gift, a rifle back in the hands of the defense. And that's where you start to worry a little bit. Trying to spam through the smoke. FUT even use the camera to give things away. There's even going to be a Hunter's Fury here. FUT have given a lot to BBL considering what BBL invested, trying to defuse. It doesn't work out in the end. It's Crostali to win it. But there's been a mighty investment from either team.
Yeah, as you say, FUT a little panicked at the end there, put some ults on the table just to confirm it. Hunter's Fury and the Neural Theft from yesterday to confirm
I think Sociables as well.
player positions. Yeah, I think you might be right. Not too sure where he ended up, to be completely honest with you. But BBL had a decent position there to make something happen. Weaponry didn't best suit them. This time, looking for a set opening on A. It's going to be through Lovers Rock's op. That's the conduit for this one.
Same time, FUT have the utility that they want to refight back through. 1 for 1. And both teams shake the hands and are happy with the engagement.
I mean, honestly, I think FUT have probably come out the better there, just simply based on the fact that Sop's been able to find something sliding in.
Yeah, and the fact that it's Rose, so that reclear ability has gone. Sop now, a top mid fight. All the bodies of BBL here, and LaRock holding on to utility. A fight through from the other side in BBL. Excellently done.
I mean, net timing is just perfect from LaRock, right on the corner.
Nearly
Catches Sop running in.
Nearly gives his life for it as well.
True. But it's a life worth laying on the line, because in this position, BBL with a chance to put themselves back in front. This layered defense looking good. FUT playing right into the belly of the beast there. But BBL looked prepared for it.
30 seconds left.
There's a gap here that Yetiji steals the spike away.
No cages, though, and I think that's most important, because that's really what you wanted to actually get past Creven.
Well, forced the long way round, and
Into
it's
the
Lovers Rock who's holding things. BBL back in the advantage.
Yeah, it's a one-round game right now, Cairo, and your plea for overtime that we had at the start of this map looks to be heading in a decent direction. Teams have gone blow for blow, but
I wouldn't necessarily call it.
yeah, the way that it's been trending, it does still feel perhaps like BBL have been in the better positions at times.
Again, it's that word conversion that pops up again here and there.
Just making the most of your advantages. I think we said this about both teams coming out of their previous matches. BBL fighting from deficits, for maybe losing some advantages that they had against Pacific. Made that one ride onto the decider. But here, it's all they can really cobble together on the attack side. Sop with the ult to fall back on. As again, they're looking towards middle for answers.
I mean, it's just left to Yetiji now to lock through mid. And time against them with that wall up. Full force of FUT players in main. And you can see slowly LaRock building up his defences. Another sonic sensor placed. And, I mean, alongside Creven, still with the molly in pocket and a Viper's pit as well.
Toxins going up.
Face checking this off the shoulder. LaRock is ready with the net primed too, but Creven gets caught before he can even throw out that first spit. Rose picking up one in the backside. He's dropped down onto the ult here with 16 points of health, but has to cancel it in the end. Just fully cleared from the corner. FUT so vigilant in their approach. With 20 seconds left, Spike goes in, and Lovers Rock should be thinking about throwing in the towel. It's an op in his hands, and it's one which FUT might just be looking to hunt off the board.
You would think so. I mean, make the economy pay on the BBL side. That's how FUT are really going to make their advantages. Although a couple of their own players low on economy, so maybe they don't want to risk it, although Ships in the Night are sociable and Lovers Rock.
Yeah, and I don't think the cam has spotted Lovers Rock here either, so actually there is some safety about this for him. It's actually Zeus who could be walking into trouble. No. No, they think that he's in spawn. The wrong spawn.
The wrong spawn.
The wrong spawn.
I mean, technically it's the right spawn, because he's on the defense.
Yeah.
Get it?
I suppose so. Lovers Rock.
In the right and wrong spawn.
Yeah. He's here, there, and everywhere, which is what BBL wish had happened in the previous round, honestly. didn't see that op get involved at all. It's a pretty straightforward B execute, all things considered, and even looking at the supportive utility here, it's actually just the counter back from Zeus. Little hinder, paranoia drops in. You can see how FUT are so happy to fight together in this rolling pack again.
Yeah, I think like that's it. When FUT are able to deathball, really hard to fight against.
And when BBL were finding success in these first few rounds from having market control, it feels like they've almost fully given it up. It's an area which FUT have been able to just slip into from their mid control. Backside the preferred option for the defense, but here is the adaptation. You now finally see them in position.
Lovers Rock on the angle against an outlaw, and you know exactly what's going to win there. Lovers
New Sensodyne Expert Repair contains
hasn't really had many opportunities with this operator at times, but when he has, he's showing up. Yetaji now starting to explore B main, and we have to keep a note on that 1 versus 1 on Kreven.
Yeah, and Kreven having this barrier dropped at his back as well. It's pretty exposed to get broken quite easily. A seriously difficult position here, but playing up close to his own wall is probably the most safety he'll be able to find.
Zeus is right in the middle of everything. Looking to be the issue. Rose has identified him. Oh, Crystalli getting his timing. In this moment in time, this could go any which way, but FUT are the ones who take the biggest advantage. Kreven from behind his wall and easily traded out. FUT once again deathball their way to a finish. Very well played, and it seems as if everybody had someone to cover their friends back.
Yeah, they did. I mean, look, take nothing away from FUT. That was a fantastic team effort in the round. But for BBL, the protocols are just all over the place. In terms of the space that they want to hold on to, what they want to take, just feels like there's no clear hierarchy whatsoever. Kreven gets left behind here in market. Larok's rotation is arriving in a weird place from top mid. He gets collapsed upon by Zeus. Lovers Rock finds that FUT lasted so long on. I think, honestly, there are so many teams in this division that if they had performed the way they had in Stage 1 coming out of kickoff, they would have, you know, been looking to axe someone immediately, but that's not what you get from this 5. Need some answers now, though, because starting to look out of sorts again.
Yeah.
Mid-fight taken, open A site for FUT, and a 5 versus 5 retake expected.
At the same time, BBL now know that the majority of the map has already been cleared, right? So you know everything's towards A. There's no late lurks. Although, speaking of lurks, probably looking at flanks.
And honestly, with the utility invested from BBL here early towards mid, there's not going to be too much to go off coming into this retake. Lovers Rock has the rifle, of course. Just seeing if there's anyone that can set him up.
It doesn't need setup to Zeus. And a quick 1-2 puts FUT so far in front. I mean, Lovers Rock does have his rifle, but you're really hoping for a miracle. And Yetaji, well, he doesn't need it. It ends up being a near enough flawless round by FUT. And with BBL's economy state, they really need this next round.
Yeah, they do. This one is the banker. The round that cannot fail. Zeus taking a kill either side of Lovers Rock there when you were just expecting a body to fall in to set him up. It's like, yeah, we can trade off you, mate, that's fine, but let me get mine first. 14 and 7. I mean, this head-to-head has been great to witness. I think they would have faced when Lovers Rock was on S2G, but past that, I mean,
yeah,
it's been a long time coming to see this one in the VCT. FUT are so quick on this tempo for the A hit.
Yeah, they are. And FUT are just so good at hitting the heads when they need to.
Decimation.
And look at BBL. White towel in.
They don't want it.
Don't want anything to do with it. And now that's when FUT become the wolves. And I imagine we'll start to hunt these players down with all the economy that they have in their back pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ults that they've got here as well. Larok, Kreven, Lovers Rock could be one away. The op, they just want it all saved. And FUT have just really started to take over now. We were saying that at the start of this game, even despite the round count, half of them on the BBL side, of course, coming from Pistol and Anti-Eco, that they were getting themselves in good positions. Maybe the eco cycle wasn't living up to expectation on the defense, but FUT given just a drop of blood, and they can smell it in the water now. They know where BBL are. They're going to hunt down these last few kills.
Well, the spike has exploded, so 3 seconds left, and unfortunately the kills do go BBL's way. It's not really much of a matter for FUT.
No, it does bring the ult online for Lovers Rock nice and early though, so that does add an extra dynamic to this defense, one which it has been calling out for.
But it's an important round, to be honest, has it? And with ultimates in play for either side, it's all about that plan creation, all about how those comms sound in the immediate.
Yeah, we're going to be going to hear from FUT coming into this one, but of course this round feels mandatory for BBL to find for their chances in this map. Let's hear what's being said on the opposite side of the server.
Ben de smoke'tan çıkana bakıyorum.
Tamam. A pushlayabiliyor. Onu gamble'layacağım.
B ulti bastı abi.
Kanka drone attık.
Efe A gel. Efe A gel bir.
Aldım drone'u.
B ulti
Gelebilen
bastı,
bir kişi daha gelsin.
Ben geliyorum.
Tamam, gelme. One way yeniledi. B'ye Viper ulti mi bastı?
Aha.
Okey tamam. Doğan.
Buyurun.
4 harf edeceğiz.
Ters yürüdü beyler dedim.
At sana biliyorsan sal.
Tamam sakin.
Kaçtı.
Kaçtı mı? Geri mi kaçtı?
Evet.
Tamam, mid'e bir drone çık.
Ben smoke.
Fark etti kapadı.
Nice'a bakıyorum.
Bence
Nice'a aldım.
aldılar.
Take flight.
Deadlock'ta bir can.
A main'e gelsenize.
Nice.
Öldü.
A main Omen Guardian'ı var beyler. Holdluyordur.
Beyler bu buradaysa hala vardır bir tane daha.
Gidin A'ya gidin.
Deadlock'a dikkat.
Ama ne olmayacak?
Beyler A'daki orb'u muhtemelen almadılar. Orb duruyor. Yetu main'e kadar gidersek orb'u alıp
Peki ilk
dönersin.
ben pikleyeyim beyler ölmeyiz.
Boy tutuyorum ben. Bazı adam görürsek basacağım direkt.
Elindeyim Efe.
Elbow Guardian. Tamam şu orb'u alak Yetu'ya.
Ulti yedim lan ben.
Bekle. Tamam bekle. Ulti basacağız. Elbow'a git beraber çık. Git Elbow'a. Beyler ulti atacaklar. Şunlara beraber pushlayın. CT holdla CT'yi. Holdla pikleyecek. Bekle.
Ben de seti bende.
Vuruyor. Short bende. Short'ta.
Beraber.
Beraber cross kal. Kal böyle. Çok iyi.
And an excellent end to that second half. FUT have their 8-4 leads.
Yeah, they bring that 4-round lead into the second half, as you say. 5 in a row to finish it out. We said both are momentum teams, but FUT with it firmly at their backs right now. And while we wait for this one to resume, let's hear from someone very Turkish and not so Turkish. It's Vlad and Bambino before the game.
Time in VCT, he's proved himself time and time again. I mean, what, 30 now, right? Like, it's just a ridiculous statement.
Flexing across roles for BBL, now an IGL in this fully national roster. You can really feel the difference, and BBL, for all the pistols they've been good for, this attack side on Sunset is the most pressing of their issues.
The good thing is you've already used Zeus's Refract. He won't be able to be cheeky, get in, get a kill, or at least clear space with little to no problems. He'll be walking with trepidation now. The door broken. Yeah. But at the same time though, right, we're seeing Crystalli already starting to lean towards this A side.
Yetajay had been waiting, just orbiting outside of A for a while, inviting the rest of BBL to group up and go for something, but it looks like a split push. Drone coming in A main, usually you'd be conditioned to think that this is just a fake through the Sova. So FUT have to keep the awareness about them that there is this other end coming in, and Crystalli catches it post-haste. Brilliant identification. Rose now in a position of serious pressure, mounting on his head. Fantastic paranoia coming out from Sociable, and Crystalli's weaved his way out of there into elbow too. Just looking for these jewels, they come towards him and he deals good damage in the process.
FUT at the same time have grouped up as 4, and that advantage is going to be felt when they go for that retake.
I mean, this just feels expertly managed on the FUT side of things. BBL looking for a leg to stand on. If you're FUT right now, you're expecting that aggression back through. The question is, where does it come from? 4 players in the alleyway.
Sop with one more kill gets his slide back, but I like this proactivity from BBL.
The only thing is, where's the spike planted towards backside? And that's why BBL are going to cancel this. Zeus is on, and with that first tap, it's action stations. They got to fight back through. Larok getting the double, and the rest of BBL will bail him out. Another pistol picked up, and is the most important that they might look for today.
I mean, had FUT done their jobs and watched over the spike diffuser very quickly, there would have been issues. And I think the biggest problem is it's Zeus who's the one to defuse. He's 19-9. Well played by BBL. They're back in this game. Had they lost that pistol round, double digits for FUT and a chasm to try and bridge.
Would have felt like curtains, that's for sure. We know how good this BBL team is on their attack sides. This composition very different to what they will have worked with in the past, though. Much more tempered approach from them. FUT grouped up almost fully in A, that with the exception of Yetije. He's been dropped in mid. You can see how patient they are. BBL.
Yeah, but so are FUT. The Astralis stack.
Family photo.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, this is actually looking a little bit dangerous. Players low. Oh, FUT are put in a brilliant position. A one-on-one. Sociable looking to try and retreat. It's Bandit versus...
Yeah. And Kreven does not want to fight back into this smoke. Not at all against a potential classic burst. It eventually fades away. And the round is given time to breathe.
Sociable so unlucky not to get an upgrade, but finds himself an off angle, a position in which Kreven won't account for. And Kreven doesn't want to reload. 3 bullets.
Sociable only needs 1 headshot.
Kreven only needs 1 body shot.
There's the reload cue given away. Sociable closing in.
And takes it. FUT somehow finding a mode of thrifty through the main fight. And has a... How does it go wrong for BBL? They even cleared it with a drone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive amount of thrifty. And I just, again, like you say, it felt like they were so aware of this BBL, but still, FUT brawling through. A masterclass in the micro, once more from Sociable. The smoke just adding to the obfuscation of the play. And look at the money for BBL, they're in tatters.
Yeah, but let's see how they try and get Lover's Rock introduced into this round.
Poster smoke vereyim mi?
4 gördü.
Gör tersen
Hasan
açarlar.
da B'de.
Tamam unutma.
Kaldık B'de. Adamlar gibi oynayacağız. Sarıyor
B'ye
geldi.
smoke verdi sarıyor aranız. B'ye şu
Sarıyor
an
random.
geldi haberin olsun.
Tamam problem yok.
Cypher cage attı. B main'deki
Açtım buraya.
Cypher'ın cage'i var.
Take flight.
Yakında trap olabilir.
Bakıyorum ben yakına. Yakına E ile dener bu arada.
Eren B'ye smoke veririm.
B'leyin
Erkan,
E'siyle yakından
atıyorum
deneyebilirler beyler. Dikkat.
Flamorum var.
Paranoya
Önden
çıkıyorum
dene, arkasından
kanka.
kan.
Ha, ben deneyeyim mi şu an?
Şu an deneyin kontak birlikte.
Gel.
Deneyin.
Pikledim.
Görürse hızlanırız.
Backside'a bakıyorum.
Aynen. Kontağı
Rap var.
vurdum.
Bir
Pikledim.
kırın.
Seni bir kırım.
Bekle kıracağım.
Bekle. 4 saniye smoke var. Tam B'leyin
Tamam,
ben
yattı.
Mami'nin önünde kaldım. Sorun değil. Patlayacaksak patlayabiliriz.
Şuraya şok dart at, sollu gireceğim.
Olur.
Tamam.
Sula.
Burada hemen, direkt burada şey.
Atıyorum. Gel. 3 2.
Yakında.
Attım 1.
Attım.
Attım backside'a.
Oturdu adam oturdu.
Tamam,
Oturmuş
tamam.
olmadı. Aldım.
Aldım
Aldım.
verdim.
Aldım.
Sakin B'de.
Gol attım sağa.
Görmüyorum ben Serkan'ı.
Daha yakın 2
Olili, olili.
CT de geldi CT.
Çak çak.
10 for FUT, and despite BBL's best efforts with ults thrown into the eco, no way to enable Lover's Rock there. Larok hits the Annihilation, you're thinking maybe with the flood into the space that it leaves open, there was half a chance, but FUT have looked airtight in these team fights. And that's exactly what Vlad and Bambino were talking about in the coach confession.
I think after Lotus, I was a little bit worried that FUT were going to miss the mark today, and that was the FUT that we saw against Na'Vi. But map to map, they've been getting stronger. And we're seeing a FUT now that's able to fight against adversity, show us those adaptations, and, well, deal with main pushes like now. But unfortunately, Zeus is not the one to do it. He's not got a lot of damage given away either.
Gets a lot left hanging in front of his crosshair there. Yetejay's got a full setup to fall back on. Support taking its time.
Oh yeah, I mean, Yetejay, eyes on first. Crystal, he's on a flank, and I mean, realistic, you'd be hoping he'd be the one to support Yetejay with utility. It doesn't come, and it's 5 alive for BBL and post.
Only for a moment. FUT do get one back. That second layer of Crostali arriving. You can see Creven is on it like a car bonnet. Closed case here, Cairo. So BBL back on track in the second half.
Looks to be.
Unless Sociable does anything. Any tingles here?
Nah, absolutely not.
Cover going out.
I mean, the smoke is going to make things difficult, but I imagine the spam going to finish things out, and especially with the time, it's all but done.
I was going to say, Creven nearly gets in there, but there was a world maybe where Sociable would have been looking for an exit and given one. BBL have already scouted out the whole of the right spawn, I guess.
Wait, what? The right spawn?
The right spawn. You don't remember? This is a reference to a joke that was literally made earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, but it's not the right spawn.
Is it the wrong one then?
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. To be honest, but what I do know is that the bonus round won out by BBL, which was a pseudo bonus round in the end.
Yeah.
After the anti-equal win by FUT. So we're back in with Sop on an operator, and the rest with rifles.
This is the first full gun round between both of the teams after that wonky bonus you were talking about. And BBL lacks in approach again. Not doing all too much with middle outside of those first couple of rounds from what we saw. Feels like they've just been happy to play this slow rolling contacting game towards A. Obviously with the changes to the initiator cooldowns, I think Sunset is one of the maps that's been affected the most in terms of the timings you get off those refreshables. You can see actually, FUT are trying to insert Yetejay off of this drone. He gets so far up in B main, and it's great information.
Still in sight.
Well, the drone, near-sighted, but it gets very close. It's Yetejay though, not cleared, not fought, and he's got everything he wanted. Neural theft, given everything, all the information. Creven's at least able to get a couple of his own. And does this get any more worrying for FUT here? No, the answer's not. Yetejay finding 4 and FUT up to 11. 2 away from that point.
I mean, people talk about magic, they talk about luck, all of these things. You don't get any of that if you don't put yourself in a position to receive it. And this was just fantastic mid-rounding, again from FUT. Crostali drones him in, and Yetejay just watches as they all drop at the feet of the throne which he's looking to reclaim with FUT.
Imagine how you feel if you're BBL, laughing in the faces of your opponents to find yourself 11-6 down on the third map.
What a turn of events.
Poison's off.
What a comeback by FUT.
It's not just that, it's the fashion in which they've managed to do it.
Well, here comes Sop, and once again, spiked down on the ground.
And it's just helpless. Rose is the one there with any meaningful utility to bring him off the line. You've also got to think, you know, stuff like Larok's net, I don't really feel like we've seen worked into this attack side. There's not been too much thought in it. Of course, a reduced cooldown on that as well. It's got to be something that you're looking to take early space with.
Unfortunately, Zeus, who's been absolutely excellent, lights out, loses his fight. So does Sociable. Sop capitalises with his own ulti, and now he's back to 3-on-3. And well, BBL go for a hunting mission. This Hunter's Fury, good, and it still ends up somewhat even. And Larok's down to 5 HP. A 2-on-1 to deny 12. And Larok's been good. We've seen him do it on split on 12, but this is an even bigger task. Goes to try hunt for the next kill, but both players have FUT looked to check, turned her back at the wrong moment.
No way. And so, Larok is hanging in there by a thread. Nothing more, nothing less. Trap up in B main. Yetejay should know that he hasn't moved up to this position just yet. And Larok himself has a sensor to play off. Wants to go aggressive, this is his win condition.
Has the net, 3 seconds up. Both players though heading his way. He can hear the steps.
Throwing next.
And it does connect, but he's looking to play for time. Looking not to play for the fight. Doesn't connect.
One enemy remains.
Oh, brings it to a one-on-one. But Crystalli, that's who you're up against. And we know what he's like with his rifle. Confirms exactly where LaRock's position is. But that doesn't mean you're going to hit the shot. LaRock with another Red Bull clutch.
2 kills on 5 HP. And LaRock will offer the olive branch out to BBL.
One enemy.
Felt like he'd missed his opportunity after this first duel, but FUT looking out of place here, which is strange to say for how good they've been between them. Look back at the round itself, brilliant supportive utility. Ult from Crystalli was fantastic, the coverage that the Hunter's Fury got. Now in a 4-1 setup, which leaves only Yetege, the sole Bastion on B.
A phenom. I like this from FUT though. Taking a much more aggressive stance in A main. The issue is that BBL are ready to pop out B, and it's just Yetege right here, right now.
Yeah, does have the support of Crystalli though arriving. Lobbed the dart early in A, and now he's here to aid his teammate. LaRock, the front man with the ultimate. Ooh. And Crystalli tries his might. Isn't going to be able to stop Yetege from going, but he can certainly make sure that death wasn't in vain. Couple kills won't suffice, and so Sociable is the one relied upon now.
Spike planted.
Free kill, surely.
Yeah, and it is one-on-one once again. And you are against Loiter.
And so the next of a long list of capable BBL players is thrown into the ring.
It is Omen versus Omen, and Sociable does have his smoke.
TP to cross the line if he can identify where Loiter is playing from. How many times have we said that BBL were reliant upon his antics in the past? And from that same position, he will not let up. BBL closing up the distance through another clutch.
And I think at this point in time, we might be looking at a FUT equal round. Things get a little bit more worrying. 11-6, me and you are thinking, well, this one's over, surely. But anything but. Give BBL an inch, they'll take a mile, they'll punish you for any...
Talent which has rode that pipeline up now to make what is one of 27 players, as you said. A rich well. But for FUT here, it's just Crystalli's rifle to get you excited. He's on the right side of the map, though. And actually, he's going to manage to pick up a couple. That's the spike dropped. Crystalli surely not anymore from this position. Finally, he is routed out, but not before Sob's done plenty of damage. He doesn't know where to put his hands. He's finally got them on a gun, though. And with that Guardian reloaded, FUT's still going. Not another one of these weird rounds.
But Loiter manages to escape. He is the only Kamen presence. In a clutch, the spike in.
And so for BBL, it's got to be back to back to back in the clutch. Loiter the previous one to do so. He's holding an aggressive stance here. Sociable, skewered on that initial fight. Smoke drop right on him, but he wants to play from the edge of this. Just orbiting it there at the exit, and Yetege will find it for the first time. Those jewels go FUT's way, and BBL don't have their closer.
He's dancing as well. His FUT hit 12.
I mean, look at this round.
Yeah, it's chaos, mate. It is pure chaos. This is what some would expect from a Turkish derby.
If Sociable puts that smoke down, stop pushing it, please. Like, that has to be the call, surely.
Nice!
Wait till you see Yetege's reaction.
Disbelief.
Oh, you didn't even clip the dance?
Oh, and it's, yeah, a mixture of emotion there in Turkey.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Not sure where exactly that watch party is.
Goes there.
Well, it's definitely not in the arena that we typically see the watch parties. As BBL are very quick on this one. Sight set on B, and Zeus unluckily caught out on the relay ball. Still alive though, and nearly puts that one into a winnable position. Ultimate sent here, there and everywhere. Still 4-on-4, and well, Sheriff's in the mix here for BBL, which is unlucky.
Pick gonna go through from Creven. This is all that stands between
Spike
BBL and
planted.
staying in the derby. A full retake from FUT backside, and there is support here. It's Loiter and Larrock again.
Yeah, but this Viper's
They've
Pit
given it up.
is where BBL could make their final stand. Everyone called to play off of one another. And you're hoping, surely, that nobody gives anything silly away. There's no way that you can defumigate this pit. It should be protect the president, and FUT have already managed to do the business. Although it's left up to Sociable. Loiter and Krevin not giving anything away. Tap of the spike, and I mean, Sociable's health ticks away, as does the time. BBL keep themselves alive around longer.
Just 3 left in it before a potential overtime and an extension of play, which you suggested at the start of Sunset. Again, just the coverage from these Hunter's Furies is ridiculous through the middle of the map. One of the reasons why we saw Breach get a lot of play time on this one before. Mini cover your ears, just because of how those lines end up looking. But the pit is enough in the end to keep them in it. So BBL can go for one more, but they're without ultimates, and for that, have plenty.
Do you want,
especially this convergent path on Zeus.
of course, but do you want to commit that in a round like this? I mean, before they were able to make an issue of an equal round, but you were against Spectres and the like.
Well, I mean, look, if BBL want to group up and fight into a smoke, then yeah, commit the ult. Wouldn't be the first time.
And it probably won't be the last, knowing these boys. Oh no.
It's happening, Cairo.
It's actually going to happen again, isn't
I can
it?
feel it.
Oh, you're looking for the drone not to catch the ruse, and it has seen that double stack in the run for the
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they finally realise it.
Yeah.
Saw Zeus back up to the side with the ult there as well. He's going to be shown the door by Lover's Rock. 2 kills, 2 shots, a bullet delivered, and, well, no upgrades taken. Sop should be looking for that Outlaw in just a bit, though. And I think this is where BBL don't want to fully give it up. Kraven left behind in mid.
At this point in time,
30 seconds left.
I think you're probably looking at Yetaji, the one to save up, while the other two send it forward. And Sop, if he can
Spike planted.
even find a kill, you're looking at Overdrive coming back online. Things to think about for the next round. And lose that,
Yeah.
it's an equal round at 12-11. That could be an issue.
FUT should just be dying to the spike here.
Yeah.
In terms of ult orbs they give away, I mean, what do we have coming into play?
Nothing
Nothing
really.
on the BBL side looking
Maybe Rose or Larocque.
tangible at all.
I think that's the thing. You just don't want to give it a possibility.
No, no. And I guess now the question begs, where do BBL go on this gun round? Because we've seen them really struggle with taking that early A space a lot of the time. They've been giving full respect to FUT to just dictate that as much as possible. They know the possibility of a threat of a scoped weapon on Sop.
Yeah.
And when it comes to B, they've been able to find a way in. It's these post plants where then that second layer kind of comes into question now for me.
I mean, I agree with you, but I don't think they've really used the Viper wall to their advantage towards that top mid.
They've not conditioned it, really.
Nah.
There's just not been any presence in that area of the map so far. 2 opportunities left to do it, and it's Lover's Rock to bring out the operator, in fact. And that suits the slow pace of this attack side.
Sop with his own.
Is he going to push this?
Hopefully not. I mean, with that bit of damage, I think he's going to happily walk back there. But with that being said, utility being spotted through mids, through the Sova round, Sova. And there's still a trap being built up towards the A side.
Yeah, I mean, for me right now, I'm just looking at the amount of utility stocked up here for FUT that they have to throw at BBL. The attack side have to find a way to bait this out as we've crossed the minute mark, or they're going to have a real difficulty in the late round. I mean, even there, FUT have barely given up anything. They've defended A with a single smoke.
There's players are ready to execute in, but still this Cypher utility
Loves
alive
traps.
and well. I mean, Rose is only good for one of these traps with his utility, and it's the one at the very beginning. They try to fight towards
30
backspace.
seconds left.
Loveless Rock though, finds Crystalli. That one was easy. And the commitment, Sob's got one of his own. Misses the second chance, and it looked like that was the easier one. But yeah, Tajay, once again, looking to make this a FUT round. Although, Loiter
He can
gets his
out there.
ultimate, yep, and he's going to put himself in
10 seconds
another
left.
clutchable position.
How much can Creven do? Enough! He finds Sop, and with that, it's all on Sociable.
How many times have we seen him in positions like this? A 1vx.
Oh, Creven.
enemy
Not
remaining.
like this! Just walks back straight to the action, and with that, Sociable in the clutch. 1 versus 1, up against Loiter. Both have won them so far in this derby. But with money hanging in the balance, it has to be now for FUT.
Paranoia, but do you want to dip into your pockets? Sociable playing within the smoke. You can see it already that Loiter was positioned perfectly to win that out. 1 round in this Turkish derby, and has a FUT are having to scrape together buys here.
Oh no!
30 seconds left.
Larok missed the net there at the start. I didn't see that. The sort of utility that we've been begging for some time. And Loiter again just digs them out of the quicksand. 3K to keep him in it. Feels like we're going all the way with this one.
That it does. In no other way did we expect this to go.
Most importantly,
And Sop, really the only rogue buy in this one. A Stinger and an Overdrive. I mean, it's the Overdrive that they'll be playing for. But that doesn't last for the full round. They want that in the action, in the post plant or the retake.
yeah, it's a bit of a change up from FUT on this round too, seeing Zeus almost the solo operative towards A. Yeah, Tajay sitting behind it where he was often on B. Full retake setup towards this side of the map where BBL look to be heading. The defenders' side have been led down a dark path. 5 opportunities for them to have the derby in the bag. And it might just have evaded them in regulation. This was the plan all along, though. Get into the B site late. And BBL have taken their sweet time to arrive on the doorstep.
Sociable's Paranoia looking to be the one that gives Sop his chance, and well, here we go indeed, but it's BBL who have struck first, BBL who are in the perfect spot to try and win this round. Denial though of
Hesitation.
And that's the big word right now.
Just a bit of a disconnect in that
30
follow-up from
seconds
BBL,
left.
and again, it's going to be such a restricted post-plant. Nobody near the ult. Rose and Larok 2 away, but it's too many.
Yeah, they've tried to fight towards backside and FUT have punished them. They've waited for Zeus to come in, so it's up to Larok. First headshot clean.
Oh.
You thought there was a chance, but there is no chance. FUT will win the Turkish derby in 2026. They finally have their bragging rights back.
The first of the year, and they waste no time. Yetajay letting BBL know. Forced to wait